Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being, American, and YouTube Ronin, and I would like to welcome you to my third annual Deleted Predicts the Oscars special. I want to say hello to everyone joining us on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Now, I understand the Oscars, not the most popular thing right now, and I feel you. But I do this show for fun because I'm usually pretty good at predicting who's going to win, even if I haven't necessarily seen all of the movies. Now, there was a time when I would see all of the Best Picture nominated films. The last few years, I haven't been so great with that. Last year, out of the 10 nominees, I saw 6. This year, I only saw 4. But there are still ways to predict who's going to win, even if you haven't necessarily seen the movies. There are always these little telltale signs. The Oscars is nothing if not predictable. So, I'm going to see how well how many I guess right. Of course, there are 23 categories. I'm going to do technical first, and then the above the line nominees. Then I'm going to talk about a little bit about the Razzies at the end. I do want to say hello to Sin's Corner, who's going to be joining me tomorrow night for reserved seats, where we are going to be talking about the winners and kind of do our little autopsy of the Oscars. The host of Films with Friends, Big Al Presents, he is here. Faithful Blue Wrench channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube, Connie Clary. Please hit the like, share out the stream, let everybody know I'm on. I'm going to be here for, a little bit, maybe about an hour or so. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. I'm still recovering from my surgery this week, and my voice is not 100% back yet, so I'm probably not going to make karaoke, but I'm going to try. All right. Well, let's get right down to it. This is from the Oscars official. This is from the Academy's official website. Of course, the awards are tomorrow night, the 97th Annual Academy Awards. And I'm going to scroll down here. And we're going to start with visual effects. And the nominees are Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. Gotta say, this is a pretty good list. I would really love to see Better Man win this category. I really would. I thought the the visual effects in that film were excellent. Um, However, this is me predicting what I think will win. This is not what I think should win, or who I thought should have been nominated. That's not what the show is about. And yeah, Sin and I are both big fans of this movie. We're kind of in the minority. The visual effects were pretty much the best thing about Alien Romulus. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and Wicked I have not seen, but I've seen clips. I think this is Dune Part 2's award to lose. It's a visually very striking film. I had some issues with the story, but my prediction is going to be that Dune Part 2 will win visual effects. It does have the added benefit of being a Best Picture nominee. And I think that's, the artistry of the visuals on top of the fact that, hey, it's got some nominations under its belt. We'll see. Going back to Better Man for a second, since I honestly don't think we're in the minority when it comes to those who have seen it. I haven't yet seen anyone who's actually seen it say they disliked it. We're in the minority as far as how many people have seen it. Yeah, it's a movie that didn't get any eyes on it. Unfortunately. All right, so we're going to move up here. Dune Part 2 will be my my pick for visual effects. Now we have sound. Now, there was a time when this was two different categories. It was sound mixing and sound effects editing. And a few years ago, they combined the two categories. So we are now with the nominees of this year being A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wilder Robot. Now, the David Lynch version of Dune was nominated in this category in '84. So I'm not surprised to see it. I think it has a chance to win this category, but I got to tell you, it is in here with 3 musicals, and musicals do very well when it comes to the sound category. And I think this is someplace where A Complete Unknown might squeak in and get an extra award. I could be wrong. Dune could take this as well, and I would be perfectly fine with it. It could be a category where a Wicked gets in, but I've got this feeling A Complete Unknown might be a multiple winner. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that for best sound, A Complete Unknown will win. I'm going to say hello to JPRPH1. It's good to see you. All right. We're going to move on to the next technical category, which is production design. This is a pretty interesting one as well. We have The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. And again, this is a category that could go into a number of different directions. I would really like to see Nosferatu win this category. I think of the group of movies here, I think it deserves it. You also have The Brutalist, a movie that's all about production design, and Conclave looked great. Dune Part 2 looks great. I have the feeling this is one that could go to Wicked. And again, I could be completely wrong because this is really a category where you could go either way and not be wrong. I have this feeling, this kind of, I think this is Wicked is going to get something. And I think production design is a place where it could flourish. So my pick for production design, my prediction, Wicked will win. Which brings us to our next category up here. Makeup and hairstyling. We have A Different Man, Emilia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. Okay, if somebody could please tell me where I just about answered my own question. I was about to say, where is the makeup and hairstyling in Emilia Perez? But then again, I remember, well, he's still a guy in the opening. So, and that was decent. That was fine. Whatever. Different Man, decent nominee. Nosferatu, clearly, I get why it's here. But man, The Substance. And I have a love-hate relationship with The Substance. I ultimately gave it a thumbs up, but man, I have some issues with that ending. But man, there's a lot in it to like. And it doesn't surprise me that it got the nominations that it did. I think it is a shoo-in in this category. I am going to go out on a limb and say that, I hate saying it. And I had issues with the movie too, but I think it's going to get short shrifted, and I don't think Nosferatu is going to win anything, guys. This is one of the categories where it could get in, but I'm thinking The Substance is going to come out on top in this category. And that's going to be my pick. Makeup and hairstyling is going to go to The Substance. All right. Well, we're going to move on here to film editing. We have Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, and Wicked. And I have a feeling that if it was just 5 nominees for Best Picture, it would probably be this 5. And I'm kind of at a point to where I'm starting to wonder if we shouldn't go back to 5. I don't know. We'll see. That is an argument for another day. I'm curious to see what would happen, though, if it did. Now, I am someone who is of the mind that film editing and best picture kind of go hand in hand, and also best director too. Because to me, if a movie is going to be best picture, then it should be the best directed, the best written, the best edited, the best looking, and the best acted. But sometimes that doesn't always happen. And I'm going to go more into that when we get to the director category. So I'm usually, when I pick a best picture, I tend to think that it should win editing as well. I'm not going to do that this year because I think the movie that's going to win Best Picture and the movie that's going to win editing are going to be different. And with the Oscars, that happens. It's happened before, you know. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo won for editing, didn't get nominated for Best Picture. There are movies that have won Best Picture without editing. It happens. I think Conclave is going to win for editing. And I know that there are people that have issue with the movie, and I'm not talking about it story-wise right now. I'm talking about it as far as the editing itself, the pacing of the film. I know that there are people who found that movie to be boring because it is essentially scenes that are just, with the exception of that one scene, that was in all the trailers, there's not really much in terms of action. The dialogue is the action. But I was on the edge of my seat watching Conclave. I was. And it's something happened with Conclave that I haven't done with a movie in a while. Was I saw it two days in a row, and I watched it the second time with my roommate who's Catholic, and I wanted his opinion on the film. And I think he just got sucked in like I did, and I just love the way the movie is put together, and it's that perfect length. It's right there at 2 hours, and that is just perfect. I'm going with Conclave for film editing. I don't want to ignore the chat. Indie Phantom has joined us. It says, I've only seen Anora and The Substance. I thought both were fine, but not what I would have considered best of the year material. Yeah, like I said, I've seen 4 out of the 10 nominated films. And in the end, there's maybe only 1 or 2 of those that I would have put on the list at the end. But, it wasn't up to us, unfortunately. Yeah. I should just go on tomorrow night and just do my own Oscars. I'm not going to. I don't know. Maybe I might during my Sunday show. But, yeah, we'll see. Says Indie Phantom, that's how I feel about most Academy nominated films and winners. Once I hear something is nominated, I kind of lose interest for sure. Never thought a movie about a conclave would be so gripping. I know, right? All right, let's move on. We've made it to costume design. We have The Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. And again, you could probably make a case for any one of these. Hey, even Gladiator 2 squeaked in for a nomination, guys. Hey, they definitely did spread the nomination wealth around this year. And again, as much as I would like to see Nosferatu, I think it's going to be Wicked. And because I have this tendency, once again, in my mind to equate production design and costume design. I think they kind of go hand in hand. And if I'm going to go with Wicked for production design, I'm going to go for it for costumes. So I think this is where Wicked picks up its second trophy. And welcome to Curtis Selby, Tired Midnight Blogger Raid. Good to see you, sir. All right, we're going to move on now to cinematography. We have The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu. Now, to me, this is a horse race between Dune Part 2 and Nosferatu. I'm really fine with either one of those winning. However, again, this is not about what I think should win. Because I would be fine with either one of those two, honestly. But here's the thing that's interesting. When the ASC did their awards, they gave this category to Maria. And I'm starting to wonder if that's going to translate to Oscar or not. I got a feeling The Brutalist could win this category. I don't know. I see that happening. So this is where I could be completely wrong. This is when they could agree with the ASC. Maybe Dune or Nosferatu pull this out, but I have a feeling The Brutalist is going to win because The Brutalist is going to be a multiple winner, I think. And this is a category where it could get in. So I'm going out on a limb, and I'm going to say The Brutalist is going to win cinematography. Indie Phantom says 10 movies for picture doesn't work when the other categories have 5. I'd have to confirm, but I think based on other nominations, you can tell what picks have no chance for the big win. Yeah, and when we get into the above the line nominees, I'm going to go a little bit more into that. Like in recent years, has any other Best Picture winner been mostly ignored in other categories? At times. And hello to John Doe Juggalo. Good to see you, sir. All right. I'm going to move on here to the next category. Let's see. I think that might be all for the technicals. All right. I think, I think we have covered all of the technical awards. So let's move up here to live action short film. Now, I have a confession to make. I have not seen any of the short films, either live action animated or documentary. You know, I'm not really in a position where I get a chance to see. I'm sure these films are out there. I'm sure there's a couple of them that are even available on YouTube. And if I get to see any between now and tomorrow night, I'll bring it up. But you know, one thing that I have noticed kind of in my kind of rudimentary research into the short films this year, there are a number of them that kind of lean politically one way or another, which doesn't exactly bode well for me enjoying them in any real way, because I'm just so sick of politics in our feature length films. You know, I don't really want to see them in a short film, you know. And this is why I hope I Am Not a Robot wins, because it's a comedy. From my understanding of it, I think Alien might win. Like I said, with this category, I don't really know. But I am erring on the side of hope this year. That they don't go up there and make political speeches, folks. Vote for the comedy, for the love of God. I'm going with Alien as the alternate, but I'm going to say that maybe I'm Not a Robot pulls this out and wins. So I'm probably wrong. It's probably going to be Alien, but I'm going to say I'm Not a Robot is going to win live action short. All right, let me move up here. And this is documentary short film. We have Death by Numbers, I Am Ready Warden, Incident, Instruments of a Beating Heart, and The Only Girl in the Orchestra. And the buzz I'm really hearing right now has been around The Only Girl in the Orchestra. Again, I have not seen any of these films, as I said. So I'm going to go with the one that I've heard about the most, has the most buzz, and I'm going to go with The Only Girl in the Orchestra for a documentary short film. All right. I'm going to go on to animated short film. We have Beautiful Men, In the Shadow of the Cypress, Magic Candies, Wander to Wonder, and Yuck. Now, I think I heard Chris Gore say he had seen Magic Candies, and I think he said that he thought that he enjoyed it. So again, like The Only Girl in the Orchestra, Magic Candies is the one I've heard kind of the most buzz around. It's the one that I've heard brought up the most by people in these conversations. So I'm going to say Magic Candies wins animated short film. Sin says, okay, got to get back to audiobook proofing. We'll keep the tab open. If you're still here when I take another break, I'll pop back in. Take it easy on the voice. Will do. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to be doing much singing on Bill's karaoke show tonight. We'll see if I'm feeling a little bit better between now and then. Well, I usually have more of an issue in the morning and in the early afternoon, but as the day progresses, this is the best I have sounded all day. So I know I'm a little rough to listen to, folks. I understand. But I will suffer for my art, and this is my art. All right. Animated short film. I think Magic Candies is going to take it. And as long as I don't have to pronounce any more A's, I think I'll be fine. Or E's. All right. Documentary feature film. We have Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Soundtrack, Coup d'etat, and Sugarcane. A lot of buzz around these movies. I'm kind of surprised that the Christopher Reeve documentary is not here. Will and Harper is not here. And while this seems to be a strong list, they always seem to leave out the fan favorites. And this year is no exception. Now, you have two possibilities here. And I'm going to tell you why I think they're going to choose one over the other. You have No Other Land, which is about the Israeli and Palestinian conflict, told from the point of view from Palestinians. And you also have Porcelain War, which is about Ukraine. And it's going to be the matter of which flag does Hollywood want to wave. And that's why I think Porcelain War is going to win, because they've made the Ukraine kind of their rallying cry, for the last few years. There have been documentaries about the Ukraine that have been nominated, that have won in the last few years, and I think that's going to happen here too. So in between their alcohol and cocaine binges, they can say, hey, I watched the news too. So Porcelain War is going to win documentary feature. I may be just a little bit cynical. All right. How many people did I lose with that? No. Okay. You're all still here. All right. Indie Phantom says, it's funny that most of these movies I haven't seen trailers for. It's like you have to seek them out. Think Wicked and Dune were the exception. Hadn't heard of Nickel Boys before. I'd heard of Nickel Boys before. It's based on a book, and the book's a bestseller, so I've heard of that. Haven't read it, but I've heard of it. Not sure I've seen the documentary play at my local cinema. Maybe a Michael Moore movie a few years back. Yeah, either Michael Moore or Matt Walsh. Usually, you can find their documentaries in theaters. Yeah. Am I a Racist is not in this list either, so no Matt Walsh. it the whole trailer situation is a little odd to me because they spend so much, or they keep telling us they spend so much on marketing, but yet I run into so many people who tell me they haven't seen a trailer. I haven't heard of this movie. Now, associating in YouTube circles as I do, um, I find a lot of trailers online, or someone will make me aware of a certain movie. So I know usually what's on the way and what isn't. But I've noticed that, most people really don't seem to they don't see a trailer, or they don't know if it's going to be a movie or a streaming series. It kind of makes me wonder where all of this marketing, all of this all of this money that they're supposedly spending on marketing, where is it going if nobody sees the trailers? You know. And there's 20 minutes of trailers before every movie, sometimes 30 minutes of trailers. But I think people wait and just come in when the movie starts. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. All right. Well, let's move on to a couple of the other categories here. Uh, International feature film, formerly the foreign language film. We have I'm Still Here from Brazil, The Girl with the Needle from Denmark, Emilia Perez from France, Seed of the Sacred Fig from Germany, and Flow from Latvia. Now, there was a time when I would have said they're going to give all of the awards to Emilia Perez, but now we have had this controversy surrounding the film. The film star statements the director has made. And I think it has hurt the movie's chances. And anybody who has paid attention to my channel knows I am not a fan of this movie. There are certain groups that are upset at it. I am upset at it because this is not a good movie and it doesn't deserve all these nominations. It doesn't deserve any. And I think the Academy wanted this movie to be Best Picture so bad. And they wanted to give it all of those awards. And while I think it will win a couple, and we're getting to that here in the second half of the show. There's been another movie that has really come to the forefront in recent weeks, and that's I'm Still Here from Brazil. Now, I have not had a chance to see this movie. I am desperately trying to find it. I think it's in theaters here. I don't know if I'm going to get to see it. But there seems in recent weeks to be this groundswell of support for I'm Still Here. And I think that's what might put it over the top in this category. And I think I'm Still Here is going to win international feature. All right. Let's scroll down. Looking for an animated feature film. And the nominees are Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and A Wild Robot. Now, as Indie Phantom has brought up in the chat, says, I thought Flow looked like a decent animated flick and a more low-key or adult feel to it. We'll watch it for sure. And I'm beginning to wonder. I mean, now, there was a time when I would have said Wild Robot is going to win this, and I've heard a lot of good things about it, as Curtis has. You have Inside Out 2, which is the big Pixar film. One of the highest money-making films of the year. You have the two claymation films, Wallace and Gromit and Memoir of a Snail. One that's aimed for families, another one that's more adult. But like I'm Still Here, I'm hearing a lot of people talk about Flow. And that got me to wondering, could it be a surprise and win animated feature? Because it's up for international film as well. So it's got me thinking this could sneak in and win this category. So once again, folks, I am going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say the Academy Award for animated feature film is going to go to Flow. All right. So let's scroll back through these and find the music categories. And I'm going to start with original song. We have El Mal from Emilia Perez, The Journey from the 6888, Like a Bird from Sing Sing, Mi Camino from Emilia Perez, and Never Too Late from Elton John, Never Too Late. Now, if you have been following my channel, you know Sing Sing was my number one movie for the year. And it only got 3 nominations. And I'm very disappointed with that. I thought it deserved a lot more. So I'm really rooting for it to win this category. But I know that's not going to happen. And there's the possibility there that one of the 2 Emilia Perez songs could get in. And El Mal seems to be the front runner from that group. However, again, you have this controversy surrounding the film. And I think they're going to be very reticent in giving Emilia Perez all of those awards that they wanted to give it. And we have Diane Warren, who has not won in this category since the 90s. You also have, you have Elton John. And this might be the Academy's last chance to nominate him. Unless he writes a song for some other movie sometime down the line. Who knows? I've got this. I was going to go with Al Mal. But I'm thinking, dude, what if it's Elton John? Why not? What a cool moment that would be. I'm going to go with Never Too Late. I think Elton John's going to take it. All right, moving up to original score. We have The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, of course, Wicked, and A Wild Robot. Now I don't know why Wicked is here. How is Wicked an original score? How much of the music in this is completely new? I don't know. I don't get why it's here. I haven't heard the Wild Robot score. I'm sure it's very good. Amelia Perez, I don't know. It's 50-50 right now. I really personally like the score in Conclave. And I am perfectly fine with Conclave taking this category. Again, this is not about what I think should win. It's what I think will win. And I've been hearing a lot about the score for The Brutalist. And I think, like I said, I think it's going to be a multiple winner. And I think this category might be where it does well. So I'm going to go with The Brutalist for musical score. This is I think the score would be unique to the film while the songs were from the play. Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. This is one where I could be totally wrong, folks, but we'll see. All right. I'm going to go down here to the my favorite categories, which are the screenplay categories. We have adapted screenplay, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing. And once again, man, I would love to see Sing Sing win this category. But like I said, I was really on the edge of my seat with Conclave, and I really got drawn into that story. And as much as I love Sing Sing, I really like Conclave as well. And that was really high on my best of the year list. I'm going to go with Conclave for this category. Everything I've heard is that it's a decent adaptation of the novel. Like I said, I was really drawn into the story. It's a very fast-paced story. It tells you a lot with very little. And it was one of the best movies of the year, in my opinion. So I think Conclave is going to win adapted screenplay. Moving on to original, we have Anora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5, and The Substance. I've heard good things about all of these movies. I'm really glad September 5 got in. Um, The Substance, like I said, I was with that movie for 2/3 of it. I'm hearing a lot of really good things about A Real Pain, and I think it could be the spoiler in this category. Um, Brutalist, also a possibility. But Anora won the WGA, and that was a surprise to a lot of people. And I got to think it's probably going to win here as well. Um, Again, I think Anora is going to be a multiple winner, and I don't think it doesn't have a lot of technical nominations, at least not that I remember. But I think I'm trying to remember if was it in there for editing. I think it was, but yeah, it was. But it won the WGA. I think it's going to win the Oscar. So Anora for original screenplay. So it's funny that I actually remember seeing the trailer for Sing Sing at my cinema, but don't think the movie ever showed up. Now, I was able to see Sing Sing because it was one of the mystery movie nights. And I reviewed it with Sin. And it did play in theaters, but it was a very limited engagement. I think it played maybe a week, maybe two, and that was it. It didn't get seen a lot in theaters, which was a real shame. It really deserved more of a chance than it got. September 5 had great acting, but not as good as Munich or One Day at September based on the same event. Yeah, Munich was good. Munich was really good. Spielberg film. Yeah, I like September 5, though. It made my top 10. It's not going to win. It's not going to win this category. It's the only nomination that it got with screenplay. I'm glad it got recognized. But I think out of this 5, I think it's probably going to get rated number 5. Yeah, I think Anora's going to go on to win it. Because oh yeah, my friend went to the mystery movie and it was Companion. This looks good. Yeah, Companion was good. Companion was a good movie. Yeah. All right. Well, now that with the writing categories, we have reached the what they refer to as the above the line nominees. So I am going to scroll up here and go to actress in a supporting role. We have Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. And here's where I think Emilia Perez is going to do well. I think Zoe's going to win. She has won pretty much all of the supporting actress awards, all the guilds. And honestly, yeah, she's the best thing about the movie. I'll say that. She is the best thing about the movie. And she plays ball politically. And I think she's managed to kind of distance herself from the controversies surrounding the film. And it's like there's been a lot of mud that has been slung, but none of it landed on her. And I think that's what's going to give her the edge. my prediction, Zoe Saldana is going to win. Supporting actress. All right, going to go on now to a supporting actor. We have Yura Borisov for Nora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. And again, I think this is another lock. Kieran Culkin is going to win this category. He's been the Divine Joy Randolph of the year. You know, he's won all of the awards. I don't think any of them have gone, or at least very many of them have gone the other way. I would have liked to have seen Clarence Macklin in here for Sing Sing. Didn't happen. You know, he's still nominated for screenplay, so congrats. But yeah, this is going to be Kieran Culkin for supporting. All right, moving on to actress in a leading role. Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison for Nora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. Now, obviously, they wanted Carla Sofia Gascon to win. That was always the plan. But their plan's gone pear-shaped. So now they got to come up with something else. And Nora is going to do well at the Oscars. Mikey Madison's won some awards. She could win here. I'm hearing a lot of really good things about Fernanda Torres's performance, and I'm Still Here. But I don't think they're going to go for it in this category. I think they're going to go with Demi Moore. I really do. She's kind of been thrown into the mix here at the end, you know, and this category has become a real kind of it's going to be down to the wire. But I got a feeling they're going to say, hey, you know, Mikey Madison's young. She's going to be back. I think Fernanda Torres is the second choice here. She may win. I don't know. It could go either way, really. But I think Demi Moore is going to win for The Substance. And which would be interesting because, you know, it is a horror film at its heart. And I kind of like the idea of a movie that is such a screw you to Hollywood winning something. That would be so good. So I'm going to go with Demi Moore for The Substance. All right, let's move on to Best Actor. We have Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Colman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. Let me go back to the chat real quick here. Any Phantom saying, I do think Demi will win, but I was all about Margaret Qualley in that flick. Yeah, I don't blame you. I was not expecting that much skin. I just was not. But I do appreciate it. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised she didn't get in, to be honest with you. I think she's just as good as Demi was. Well, we're going to go to lead actor. And lead actor is interesting because, again, I would love to see Colman Domingo. It's not going to happen. Ralph Fiennes, great. Not going to happen. Sebastian Stan, it's too controversial a pick. The nomination is to win there. This is going to be between Adrian Brody and Timothy Chalamet. And I know a lot of people are saying Adrian Brody, but he's won his already. And I think that's going to be a factor. I think Timothy Chalamet is going to win this. He has campaigned for it. Like he's running for office. You know, he hasn't gotten involved in any controversies. I think he's got it in the bag. Now, a lot of people have had issue with the use of AI in The Brutalist. Like I said, haven't seen the movie, don't know if it's really an issue or not. Now, the people who I know who have seen it say, the whole AI thing has been kind of overblown. But if it becomes an issue to Academy voters, one of the things I've heard is that there are Academy members who stayed away from the longer movies. And I think in the end, the runtime of The Brutalist hurt it. And I think that might hurt Adrian Brody's chances. I think Chalamet's gonna pull this out. Did Ray Fiennes win before? He has maybe an outside chance. I know he was nominated for Schindler's List. I don't believe he won. No, he didn't win. He hasn't won before. I agree he has an outside chance. I wouldn't have a problem with it if he did. I don't think he's going to, though. I think they're really going to consider him the third or fourth choice out of this group, maybe even the fifth. So yeah, I wouldn't have like I said, I wouldn't have a problem if he won. He's great in the movie. I just don't think it's going to happen this year. All right. On to, let me scroll down, and we're going to get to Best Director. All right. We have Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, and Coralie Farget for The Substance. Good list. No surprises here. I have been going back and forth on this category because there's a part of me that thought a split could happen. That Best Picture and Best Director weren't necessarily going to match. Which happens. So I thought, maybe Brady Corbet was going to pull this out and get director. That's when I thought The Brutalist had more of a chance of winning Best Picture. Now I think it's probably number 3. And I'm going to go with I think the Oscars are going to go with the DGAs. And I think Sean Baker's going to win for director. I know I'm going out on a limb and saying he's going to win screenplay and director. He might. And again, I could be wrong. There could be a split. But I think the fact that he won the DGA is going to help him here. And I'm going to go with Sean Baker for Anora winning Best Director. All right. Let's see. Indie Phantom in the chat. I disqualify Mangold due to Dial of Destiny. I don't blame you. Don't blame you. But I like his other movies, though, man. I really do. He did Ford v Ferrari. He did Walk the Line. You know. He did Logan. I like Logan. Logan was in my top 10 that year. I liked Identity. You know, I think his movies, for the most part, have been good. I haven't seen A Complete Unknown. I can't speak to it, but yeah. But I understand. I do. All right, so we're going to scroll down. The Best Picture: Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. All right. Amelia Perez is out. Nickel Boys, I don't think enough people saw it. If it had more nominations, maybe. But I think it only got like one other nomination, maybe. I don't think it's going to be there. I'm Still Here. I think it's going to win international feature. That'll be the win. Let me scroll down. It's not going to be Wicked. I know there are people who are rooting for it. I'm not seeing it. Dune Part 2. Now, I know Dune Part 2 has its fans. I saw it. I think it's a good movie, but a bad adaptation. I don't think it should be here for Best Picture. I don't. I'm sorry, folks. I don't think it should be here. And I like the first part. But it has its fans. I don't think it's going to win. I know A Complete Unknown has its fans as well. And of this list, I think it's probably in the number 4 spot. I know some people who love that movie. It was their number 1 for the year. It's not going to translate to Oscar, though. I think this is going to be down to one of 3 movies. Now, The Brutalist, I would have thought it would have had a bigger chance earlier in the year, but I think it's kind of fallen off of the radar. Like I said, I'm hearing, one of the things that I think is going to shoot down The Brutalist and Dune is the fact that you have Academy voters stating publicly that they didn't sit through the whole movie. because of the length or just whatever other reason they had. And I think that's going to hurt The Brutalist, and I think it's going to hurt Dune. And I don't think those movies have the chance that they did earlier in the year. And hello to my partner in crime, Outlaw Bill. Good to see you, sir. I will be joining Bill tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern for Western Cinema Presents our tribute to Gene Hackman, 1975's Bite the Bullet. So join us there. All right. So that leaves 2 movies. Of the movies that are nominated that I've seen, I think Conclave is the best one. Again, I would be totally fine if it won, and I think it has a chance, especially if Anora and The Brutalist split the vote. It won the BAFTA. It won Screen Actors Guild. It's a safe movie to go with. But I look back, WGA, PGA, DGA. Who's there? Anora. And in the end, I think that's why Anora is going to win. And I think I have it in like 3 or 4 categories to win. I'm telling you right now, I don't think any movie is going to win any more than 3 or 4 awards. And I think Anora is going to be the one to do it. So that is my prediction. Anora will win Best Picture. All right. Indie Phantom says, it's funny, we'll sit through 3 to 4 hours of Midnight Edge nearly every day, but I won't commit to Dune or The Brutalist. These are times we live in. Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you there. All right. One quick thing that I do want to bring up very quickly, and I bring this up because when I did my reaction to the Oscar nominees, I also did a reaction to the Razzies. And the Razzies were announced. And Madam Web was named the worst picture of the year. So I'm going to go through the winners in that category very quickly. Worst picture, Madam Web. Worst actor, Jerry Seinfeld for Unfrosted. Actress, Dakota Johnson from Madam Web. Supporting actor, John Voight from Megalopolis, Reagan, Shadowland, and Strangers. Supporting actress, Amy Schumer for Unfrosted. Director, Francis Ford Coppola from Megalopolis. He's not happy. Worst screen combo, Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga for Joker 2, For All You Do. prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel, folie do. Worst screenplay, Madam Web. So Madam Web cleaned up pretty much. Yeah, a couple of those movies were in my worst of the year. Oh boy. Well, folks, it's been quite a year, and tomorrow night it all comes to an end and we do this all over again. I do want to thank everyone who joined me here tonight. Everyone on X, I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Thank you to everyone who watches this on the delay. Thank you for sticking with me through the whole show. Even though I'm still having voice issues, thank you for sticking around. All right, I want to thank everyone who joined me in that. Andy Phantom, Curtis Elby, Connie Cleary, Sin's Corner, Outlaw Bill, John Doe Juggalo, JPRPH1, and Big Al Presents. From HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe and healthy. Because this is how we win. What are your predictions? Let me know in the comments.